No compre sin visitar Emporio.
You know how fast we can go.
Larry on.
Why? And added that these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins.
It's your cyber cigarette, internet nicotine, your verbal vape from two malcontents with microphones, the ever-disturbing audio car accident known as Pod Vomit. I am your host, Nickelbag Rick, and with me as always is my audio bromance and, I don't know, the funniest motherfucker I know.
I'm Justin. How ghastly.
See, that's why he's funny. I'm inserting a laugh track right now.
Is that a monkey or a laugh? I'm not sure.
It's a monkey laugh.
That's an ape track. Not the ape track, sir. We need the laugh track.
Ape track.
Ape track.
Okay, this is Pod Vomit. We are back on another... This is a very interesting show because this, if you listen to our last show, was about shitty part twos.
And if you didn't, we're going to have to find and murder your mothers.
And rape their dead corpses.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I took some Viagra.
For good merit.
Yeah, you know, if we're going to do it.
Sound like you've been listening to Joe.
Right. Oh, my God. Feels like Christmas.
We're going to cheese wheel up all on their faces.
For you at home who is playing the Joe drinking game, take a drink.
Take a drink.
Anytime Joe is mentioned, he is a past employee of the show. If his name comes up and you're listening to the show, take a drink.
And if the words Joe and cheese wheel are uttered in the same sentence, take 2 drinks.
Take 2 drinks, and, you know.
Now, just to make that clear, if we just say cheese wheel, that's not a drink.
That's not a drink. That's kind of like a Mother May I without saying
it's
Mother
a two-parter.
May I. Right.
It's a two-parter.
You got to pay attention.
It's a Marco Polo, if you will.
That's right. You got to pay attention.
So if they say the words Joe and cheese wheel in the same sentence, take 2 drinks.
But if
now take 2 drinks now.
If it's just cheese wheel, put your finger down your throat and vomit up
the last drink that you've
right.
had. And make sure you only vomit up the equivalent of 1 drink.
Put it back in the glass that you drank from.
Yeah, so we can measure that it's exactly a pint, or if that's what you drank, you know.
And that's an official Pod Vomit sponsored game. The Joe drinking game / you got to regurgitate it back.
You know, that's what I was going to say. I don't think there are very many drinks that require regurgitation. I'm sure regurgitation happens because of those games.
We have to bring it to the next extreme because, like, beer pong, it's like the thing. We could bring it back where it's like if you fuck up, you've got to puke it back up.
You got to puke that drink up. And then do you have to drink it again later or no?
Maybe your opponent.
Your opponent has to drink it.
That's
like
right.
How? Like, but what does the opponent have to do in order to have to drink the puke?
We haven't really worked all the details out on this show.
Oh man, this game's getting complicated.
But I guarantee you, we will send it to our crack team staff here at our studio and get them to work on our new Pod Vomit drinking game, which will be out by Christmas.
Yeah. Milton Bradley and Hasbro have already turned us down.
Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley. Yeah, I've had too many beers.
Parker Brothers. Maybe we can kind of, you know what? And we may just do this on a on the new Pod Vomit gaming board. I don't know. Maybe we'll make our own. Fuck it.
We'll make our own.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe by Christmas you will have your own Pod Vomit drinking game.
We don't need a mass producing and manufacturing company.
We could get them from like India.
Yeah, and Rick will make every single one of them himself.
I'll draw it.
With his penis.
Yes. My rather large penis that can hold a pen.
Yeah.
So, let me tell you something. I was thinking about this the other day.
Wait, it holds a pen? Like, it not only is it large,
it's like
but
it's like an elephant.
It wraps around like a slap bracelet.
Yeah. Right. I wanted to tell you about this. The other day, I had to go to fucking Walmart. I fucking hate going to Walmart. Now... Well, then if you hate going to Walmart, why are you going to Walmart?
Because they got stuff you need. I don't need to ask that question because I know they have stuff you need at low prices.
Yeah, and sometimes, I got to say, over the last probably 2 or 3 times that I went, I wind up getting like kick-ass parking spots right in the front. Unbelievable.
That handicap sticker helps, though.
Yeah, I go gimping out. And go, but that's the point.
You don't wear a gimp mask, though, do you?
It wouldn't matter if I did, because here's the fucking thing, man. That place is like the fucking cantina on Mos Eisley in Star Wars. Every fucking time I go there, it's like all of humanity is given up.
You know, that's funny because I wondered why they wouldn't let me bring my droids in.
Well, you know what's weird? Was it the droids that they were...
They had to wait outside. I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
You know, and that's the thing. Have you ever noticed this when you walk into Walmart? They're also, like, oh, welcome to Walmart. I'm the Walmart greeter. But on the way out, they're like, let me look in your bag. Let me see that receipt.
I know.
It's like, well, goddamn. It's went from like, welcome to the land of Oz to cops.
Like, let's make sure you're not stealing anything.
Yeah.
Man, and they'll stop you they stop you. Yeah, so they stop you when you're walking out, obviously, because that's when you have the receipt in hand. And one time, this is when I had long hair and I was hippie-like. I looked hippie-like, I should say.
Hey,
I did not subscribe to any hippie beliefs. But as I was walking out...
Did you notice I trimmed the beard?
Oh, yeah. You just got the 80s metal goatee going.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm very unobservant, but I see that now. So I was walking out of the Walmart with my long hair looking all hippie-like, but not beholden to any hippie beliefs because I don't buy into that garbage. And the guy stops me, or okay, so you know how there's 2 sets of doors?
Yes.
Kind of like, I guess, the breezeway between.
Right.
Yeah, so I go through the first set.
Where the red box is in the video game.
Yeah, exactly. This little claw machine stuff.
Yeah.
So I go through the first set of doors, and then I get right to close to the second door, and the guy goes, like, he wasn't paying attention to who was walking by, and he's realized all of a sudden that he has a job to do, and he looks at me and it's like, hey, I need to look at your bags, and I'm walking away because I'm not going to fucking turn around.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm already out there at this point, man. I'm not going to turn around so he can check my bags. Fuck this guy.
Well, and it's like, that's Walmart's fault, in my opinion, because it's like, you're putting people in wheelchairs and like with oxygen mask on, and it's like you're just employing like the extreme elderly to go, welcome to Walmart. It's like, ugh, is this a way to make me feel better about myself?
Well, it's like, we know you're just living on your pension alone, so you need this job.
God, it's so fucked up, man. It's like, I like to sit around and watch Intervention.
It's like all the people that failed to like invest into their 401ks are working at Walmart.
That's why I like to watch Intervention and drink beer and smoke weed and just go, man, I feel better about myself. At least I'm not you.
At least I chose a drug that's not.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping
Clorox.
I'm not smoking meth under an underpass.
Yeah.
And my family going, come home.
Come home. That's funny that you compare the Walmart to the Mos Eisley because some of those people in there do look like beasts. And
it's like nobody gives
aliens.
a fuck. They just give the fuck up. They just don't care.
Yeah. No,
the other day...
They don't even have to wear all their clothes.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And sometimes that's not a bad thing, but at Walmart it is.
Well, since I have converted over to dudism...
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable walking into a Walmart in my slippers and a robe because, number one, it's my religious teaching, and I don't feel like I'm like looking any different.
No, you don't. You
than
fit
anybody else. Yeah, I actually probably look more like the dude.
Matter of fact, you should just get like one of those like motorized carts too while you're at it and gain a few 300 pounds.
I don't want to do all that. Now, the motorized cart I'm not opposed to only because.
I'm not either, but people are using those just because they're too fucking fat to walk.
It's like that movie, Idiocracy.
They're not handicapped.
Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, great movie.
Speaking of movies, we're going to get into me and Justin are our rant on Walmart.
Oh man, okay. Walmart, man. We need a Walmart episode, I guess.
We got to stop that. I'm getting a signal in my ear saying, shut up about Walmart.
But you think about Idiocracy, you know what it did not have?
Answer the email. What?
A sequel.
Yes, it did not have a sequel, thank God. Look, they're telling us we got to get to the barf bag really quick.
They're always on our ass now. Now that we're famous and we can hire like these high-end engineers and staff and stuff, they're always on our ass.
Well, and they want to make us behave. Behave. So
behave.
I'm going to make this barf bag quick because we got another part 2 to a sequel. We're doing sequel shows. We did the shitty bad sequels. Now
bad sequels.
Now we're doing
shitty bad.
Now we're doing awesome
sequels that ruled.
But people are wanting to, they want to jump on board. They want to talk to Pod Vomit, so we're going to give them a little bit of 15 minutes of fame. This real quick out of the barf bag comes from Tony Bohr. the Tony Boris Show. It says, just listen to your show for the first time.
Tony, we screwed up your thing last time, so here we go. We're
Yeah.
going to do it right. We're going to do you right this time, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to give you it's the golden ticket, Chief. Says, just listen to your show for the first time. I found it on Twitter. Great freaking job. Man, we've been getting some good compliments
That's
lately.
great, man. 5 stars, awesome, great freaking job. I'll take it all day long.
I left a rating, a review, and I'm officially a subscriber. Keep up the truly great work. Man, this guy is stroking our ego like a porn star, dude.
Stroking our ego / Cox.
I used to do the 76th Street podcast. I do a comedy podcast about my attempt to become a stand-up comic. Thank you for your time, Tony, the Tony Boris Show. Hey, go listen to the Tony Boris Show. I believe he is on iTunes.
And I tell you, it's anything but boring.
Right. Thank you, Tony. Awesome letter, man.
Thanks,
we
man.
so appreciate it. We're also going to jump into some of our big fans on Twitter that like to retweet us, and we retweet them. And there's some of these shows that we listen to and we like a lot. First of all, we also have a big Facebook following. Do we have any Facebook love, Justin?
Hey, why don't you go ahead and read the tweet, the twatter Twitter stuff.
The Twitter twatter?
Yeah, the Twitter twatter. And I'm going to check Facebook, see if anybody else has chimed in.
Okay, real quick, we're going to run through some of our friends on our Twitter twatter, which we like a lot. One of the first twatters is Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks podcast. Love these guys, really cool. Go check them out. Also, please check out Nerds with Attitude, Sheriff Doodle. Talk Nerdy to Me, big fans of the show. We like them. They like us.
Nerdy to me.
Yeah, I like these guys. Talk Nerdy to Me, one of my top favorite podcasts to listen to. Please go listen to them. And another one of Justin and I's favorite podcasts. We have become fast friends with these guys, and we listen to their show a lot. Love these guys. You want to give them the accolade?
Oh, okay. I believe you're referring to the Amish Baby Machine.
Love these guys.
These guys are great.
Our pick of the week.
Our only Amish friends that we have,
From down south to up in Amish country.
And we didn't have to meet them through a Harrison Ford, so it was great.
Hell no, man. We didn't have to be anybody's witness to become Amish Baby Machines fans. We are definitely an Amish follower.
Yeah, and I gotta say to you guys, I love your slow moving vehicle symbol for your show. That's great.
You fucking rule. You are a powerful podcast.
Keep riding those buggies.
Yeah, we all the way down here in the ATL. We love the Amish Baby Machine. Big love for the Amish Baby Machine. Okay, we're done sucking your dick now. Real quick,
you must reciprocate.
One of the last ones.
69.
One of the last ones. 69 podcasts. One of the last ones we want to give some Twitter twatter love to is Malarkey from New Jersey. Like you guys too. Thanks a lot for all the pod vomit love. And I think that right there is going to wrap up. You got anything else, Justin? Anything barf baggish?
No, I got no barf bag.
No more twatter?
No more twatter. Do you?
No more any Facebook? No, I'm good. Any Facebook?
Our Facebook fans, all 3 of them already chimed in, I guess, so for the last show, and no one's wanting to add anything for this show.
All right.
A bunch of douchebags, but I'm not holding it against you.
No repeat shout-outs.
No repeat shout-outs for sure.
Yeah.
We're only going to shit out. We're only going to shit you out once.
Yeah, shit you out once.
We don't stuff you back in our asses to re-shit you out a second time.
You don't get a resheet.
No.
Only a retweet. All right, that's going to wrap up the barf bag, the Twitter twatter, and the sit on my Facebook.
Oh, we do have some telegrams, though, right?
Western Union.
Western Union just wired us like a penny.
Right. It says that Doc is alive and well. And
yeah.
1830.
Yep. He's just hanging out with Wild Bill Hickok now.
Hiccup.
Hickok. His cock.
Yeah, his cock. Okay, on today's show, we are doing the follow-up, part 2 of, like on the last show, if you listen to, is the shitty sequels. And this show is going to be on really kick-ass sequels. Sequels that were, some of them even better than the original.
Yeah.
So,
even better. But not necessarily. Some of them are on par.
Well, I have, yet again, I know on the last show, if you listen to that, there's some movies that I do have like an issue with where I don't know if they're a good one or a bad one. I'm not saying they're good or bad. It's just like sometimes it's like, was it even needed to be made?
Right.
So I think I'm gonna go and pick my favorite. I have two favorite number twos.
Are you picking? You going to start with your favorite of all number twos?
Okay, I don't have to. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, throw some at us, but don't start with your very, very top favorites.
Okay. I'm all right. I'll tell you one I have. I was kind of holding on deck.
Okay.
I was teasing Justin in between shows. I said, I've got one on here for you. I don't want to really talk about it while we're not recording, but I said...
Although I know everything because I looked at his show notes.
This is technically a sequel, but it rivals the original. Mm-hmm. And probably right up there with one of the best sequels, if you consider it. Silence of the Lambs.
That's a sequel?
Manhunter.
Oh, right, because it's not actually the first of the books.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that right there is one of these movies that is probably up there in the top 5 of all-time best sequels. But see, it doesn't really come off as a sequel.
Well, see, I won't give you that one just because, well, first of all, reading is stupid. No one does it anymore. And it was the first of the movies, you know?
Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
Well, there was Manhunter, which...
But it was a book, right?
No,
was it a movie?
No, it was a movie. It was actually shot here in Atlanta. And
okay. I didn't realize that.
They talk about... As a matter of fact, even if you watch Hannibal, the sequel, there's discussion of parts of that movie and the fact that it all takes place here in Atlanta, too, which is weird. If you go back and watch the original Manhunter, and it's not a great movie. Because I think they were banking on the fact that it might... turn into this thriller, but it just didn't have the budget behind it.
Nice.
But the High Museum of Art downtown in our hometown of Atlanta was the insane asylum in the movie.
Right.
And and the guy that played Hannibal Lecter kind of looked, Anthony Hopkins-ish. I think they kind of probably used this guy to kind of model Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs. But, and then, of course, like I say, it was Hannibal next. So
was Hannibal a remake of that movie? Because I thought Hannibal was the first one.
Well, it was a whole series done. It was like, I think...
Or Red Dragon was the first one.
Red Dragon,
right?
Then Silence of the Lambs, and then...
Well, what's the actual first book, though? Like, where does it actually
Red
start?
Dragon.
So Red Dragon?
Yeah.
So Manhunter... Where does that fit in?
I think Red Dragon and Manhunter were basically, and man, I can say it's been a while since I've seen either one of these, but
yeah,
and it's kind of confusing. I don't remember which is which. I remember seeing Manhunter for the first time, and then years later, Silence of the Lambs, and then it was like, oh, okay, Hannibal Lecter. I remember him but I didn't read the books.
Right,
so
I didn't either.
I'm going strictly on movie.
Right,
but
and Silence of the Lambs is by far the best of all those movies.
So
I haven't seen Manhunter, but I'm sure it's not better than Silence of the
Lambs.
Well,
it's to me, Silence of the Lambs is one of those where actually anything before it or after it just doesn't compare.
To me, that's another one of those movies where they just didn't have to make any more. Like the sequels are okay, but
I just wish it would have been taken on like Harry Potter or. Any of those movies where, they just said, okay, we're going to do this whole series of Hannibal Lecter, but we're going to do it with the same director and the same writer and done that way. But I think it's too far gone because you had a character so good as Hannibal Lecter, it's going to be really hard to repeat that.
Yeah.
So.
I've got one kind of like that, similar to that. I mean, it's not as obscure because probably nobody's ever heard of Manhunter, but you and like 2 other people in a small room jerking off. But... Desperado.
Yeah, I have that on my list.
So a lot of people probably don't realize it's a sequel, though.
I agree. I think
there's still a good amount of people that realize the original is El Mariachi.
I will say this. I will quote Jack Black.
What's Spanish for the mariachi?
I will quote Jack Black from High Fidelity. If you haven't seen that, then you're a cinematic idiot, and I feel fucking sorry for you. So
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
no,
yeah.
I wouldn't either. But I mean, I just think that if you watch movies, like I knew that was a sequel, and I actually put that as a
Right.
really good sequel.
But Desperado is by far like a more polished.
But at the same time, it was a Robert Rodriguez, very early stuff.
Yeah.
He was just making his way, kind of like Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
So
Right. He got. It's kind of like I mean, although these aren't sequels, but it is kind of like what Pulp Fiction was to Reservoir Dogs.
I have another great fucking sequel, probably rivaled the entire franchise up when this movie came out. Want to take a guess? To me, Silence of the Lambs big as far as a movie, but
I mean, was the first one pretty well received and popular, or is it another like where people might not have seen the first one, but everybody's seen the second one?
yes,
God, I don't know, man.
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, with Heath Ledger and Christian
Really,
Bale.
you think a lot of people? I don't know, because I think a lot of people saw Batman Begins.
I think more people saw the one with Heath Ledger only because, the Joker element, the Heath Ledger element.
Right.
But but that movie was amazing.
But yeah, The Dark Knight was really
if Heath
good.
Ledger wouldn't have died, that movie would have not been any better or worse for it.
It wouldn't have. It might not have had as much of a. I mean, it did add some publicity to it, the fact that he died.
But
I mean,
that
it was a
movie
great
was still
movie.
solid.
It was a great movie. It was on my list. I mean, everything was great from Harvey Dent to
Commissioner
Gordon. His whole like little speech at the beginning was great. And
the right amount of villain, the right amount of hero, the right amount.
It was really balanced, and that's what I was saying too.
I like the fact that it seemed like I like that Gotham is like downtown Atlanta or downtown Chicago or downtown Philadelphia. I like that it's just like a city. It's not all crazy statues and all crazy. I mean,
weird Gothic statues out of nowhere
that are huge, like
a statue of a wombat,
right?
At a preschool.
That was Wombat Preschool. Come on,
But yeah, I mean, Nolan's take on it was like let's give Batman more of a backstory, and Burton's was like, let's create backstories for our villains. So definitely good pick. Dark Knight.
I'll tell you another favorite part 2 that I absolutely love is Back to the Future Part 2.
Yes, on my list also.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
The only thing,
So many like ideas for futuristic things came out from that movie.
Man, I think next year in 2015 that's going to be the thing where you see like things are going to try to copy that.
Right.
I think those fucking hats are going to be a thing that Marty wore.
Right.
I think.
they're trying to. They have already like remade the shoes.
Oh, the Nike. Yeah,
and
I want those so bad.
I read that they're trying to. They're going to auction off the original hoverboard that was in the movie.
Did you see that fake hoverboard commercial with Tony Hawk?
Yeah, that came out a few years ago.
I posted it on the YouTube Pod Vomit page.
Yeah.
Man,
that was like an April Fool's thing, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, sadly. I was so
Yeah.
pissed because I was like, Tony Hawk's involved. Why would he
gotta be
lie?
legit.
And Christopher Lloyd's here in a DeLorean. Come on.
If Tony Hawk's doing it, it's got to be legit. And Sean White no, he wasn't really involved.
No. He's like, I got a gum deal. Fuck
He's
you.
like, I'm not doing this shit.
But I think next year you'll see a lot more. I think the drones that Amazon and shit like that are.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be.
That's really gonna. They're really trying to pull off the drones.
right. So I think.
Imagine that though.
Maybe I don't. I mean, look, dude.
Like Wally comes to your house and gives you your porn that you ordered over Amazon.
20 years ago, we would have said, "Hey, I've got a phone that's a computer and a fucking camera." I mean,
I know, but it's just a funny image of like this little like robot hovercraft thing, dropping off a blow up doll at your house
or a pizza.
Yeah, I like to go for funny objects.
Or weed from Colorado.
The weed.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about how you go to the dark net to pick up your weed that you.
We still need to do a show
with.
on that. We still got to do that.
The drones could just bring it to you. I know. We'll do that. What we will do.
That's our Halloween show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the dark
Halloween
web
show.
All
Starring
right.
the NSA.
Here's another one of my favorite sequels before we start getting crazy off topic.
Yeah.
I love Dark Knight 2, and I know I'm gonna get a little bit of fucking bitch slap.
Before you get to it, I want to add one.
All right.
You put The Dark Knight. I put Batman Returns.
Well, it was a lot like the original. I don't think it wasn't great. It wasn't bad. I think it was just okay. And that's what I was talking about in the last show that I wanted to bring up. There's certain movies, like, for instance, the sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark was not terrible. It was just kind of the same thing. It was just...
No, it was fucking terrible.
I don't think it was terrible.
I
I thought all
god-awful.
3 of those were great.
The sequel, all 3 of the what?
All Raiders movies, they were all good.
All 3 of the Raiders. 3
Sure.
of the Raiders.
I don't care about the Crystal Skulls.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant. Okay.
I'm talking
I thought you meant
Temple of Doom.
Well, I thought you said okay. I was thinking you said what did you say? The sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I'm talking the one with Short Round.
Oh, yeah. My mind went to Crystal Skull for some reason.
No. I didn't like that.
No, Temple of Doom's great.
Yeah, Temple of Doom, and all of those. The first 3 were like.
As long as you can buy that they were able to, like, when they fell from the plane, that they were able to save themselves by landing on that raft.
Well, it's Indiana Jones.
Dude, but if you think about it, that's like the only like part where I'm like, what? Other than that,
Well, that to me was just as good. I loved all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I know that you said before you're going to bring 3 and 4 and 5 in certain movies, but I love.
Yeah.
I love the third one was my favorite out of the original. I mean, I love the first one, but my third
the
one
third one was great. Then the third one was actually, in between. I actually put The Last Crusade on my list because I prefer it over Temple of Doom.
I agree. I thought that Temple of Doom.
And Temple of Doom is really a prequel.
Well, the one with Short Round, I felt like that was another Scrappy Doo / Ewok effect. It's getting the younger audience kind of involved, but it's cute.
It's funny that you say that. At the same time, I think that was the darkest of the Indiana Jones with like.
Well, I
eating
agree.
Snake babies and eyeball soup.
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying. I mean, Short Round was clearly brought in to be an Ewok type of thing, But it didn't make it suffer. I still liked it.
No, it's a good movie.
Another one of my...
a lot of people don't realize that it's a prequel, though.
Yeah.
And it's actually supposed to take place before Raiders.
Right.
So,
well...
before he was a college professor and all that.
Sure. Well, all right. Well, damn it, I feel stupid now because...
but it came out, sequentially after Raiders, so I would have given it to you.
Well, what about and I know you're probably gonna give me some shit on this one, but I don't give a fuck. Clerks 2, love it.
I love Clerks 2.
Yeah, me too.
You thought I was gonna give you shit about that?
Yeah.
Hell no, man, that's a great movie.
I agree.
I love 1 and 2.
I love 1 and 2, and I look so forward to 3 because I know that it's going to be about Randall, and Kevin, in my opinion, does no wrong. But
I know. I have to clarify this. I like Kevin Smith movies. I just don't like all of them.
That's fine. I like all of them. I love Kevin, but
and I look forward to Tusk. So
I do. I do. Did you like Red State?
Not so much.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't.
Come on.
I don't like the subject matter all that much. Bible beaten Christians.
For him as a director and that kind of story,
everything about it seemed predictable to me.
Okay, well, fair enough.
I mean, and I'm sure like if Kevin Smith came here, he would destroy me with words. But...
Well, if Kevin Smith come here, I'd be like, I have to suck your dick, Kevin Smith. Let's get through this first.
He would be able to convince me that, he'd be able to convince me to reverse my opinion on it. I'm sure.
All right, we got. I don't know how we're doing on time because.
Fuck time.
I know.
Time's the man.
I'll just run through the list at the end like I did that last show.
All right.
Superman 2.
Yes, on my list also.
Great sequel.
Great movie. I think it's better than the first one.
Just as good, not as bad. I mean, great.
I think it's better.
Yeah. Awesome movie. What about?
It's probably my favorite of all Superman movies.
I agree.
Superman 2.
I think so too.
I
loved Christopher Reeve's Superman 2.
Have you seen Man of Steel?
Not yet.
It's actually
it's
pretty
on
good.
HBO Go. I'm going to check it out.
You need to don't wait anymore. Watch it. It's actually pretty good.
I got to watch your Game of Thrones. So
my Game of Thrones,
yeah.
like I'm my George R. R. Martin. All of a sudden, I created it.
Justin has been like a junkie dealer. Like you got to do this Game of Thrones.
Okay, all you Game of Thrones fans understand that Sunday night, 9:00. In the springtime, April-ish, I have to be home every night,
Justin
every Sunday night to watch Game of Thrones.
He is comes in and goes, look, I got to do these shows.
Look, dude, let's get this over. I got home with Game of Thrones.
Shows have to end at this time. I've got to get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, That's
and could I watch Game of Thrones on Monday?
Yes,
sure,
he could.
I could. Do I have an addiction? Yes, I need to watch it at 9:00 on Sundays.
That's
have
pathetic.
to.
All right, let's stick to this. I got another favorite sequel. I don't know if you picked this one, but I just watched this the other day, and it's a different sequel than you're normally used to. But I do love this. This is 40.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's a great, and it's an odd kind of sequel.
Yeah, I love
it. I loved it. Loved the characters, loved the story, loved the kids. I am in my mid-40s. I agree with so much.
Yeah.
in
I
that
like
movie.
it right at the very beginning. They're like banging in the shower, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this Viagra is really helping me
Why
get
would
it up."
she be mad about
She
that?
was mad about
Why?
it. She's a, man,
I like her.
I like her too, but they're they're casting her to be kind of bitchy in that
Well,
movie.
it's Judd Apatow's wife.
Right, I know.
And I would still do her. I don't care if she bitched or not.
Yeah, I mean she's great. I like her in all those movies.
All right. Moving on.
All right,
Evil Dead 2.
It's on my list also.
Okay.
It's a great movie. I love all three of them. I know a lot of people don't like Army of Darkness because it gets out there and just totally changes the subject
Me
matter.
and Justin will be stuck on a zombie apocalypse island
Yeah.
with all these movies and be extremely happy.
Absolutely.
As long as he has booze and I've got weed, we're gonna have the bromance in heaven.
Evil Dead 2, arguably better than the first
What
one.
about Rocky 2?
Rocky 2 is great.
It's one of the best fucking sequels ever.
Rocky 2 is awesome.
That Empire and
Oh, you just did it, man.
Empire.
All right, now, Empire is my favorite sequel of all time.
Absolutely. I was gonna say my all-time
Empire. There will not be a Star Wars movie that will be better than Empire Strikes Back.
Totally
It's never
agree
going to
with you.
happen.
I totally agree with you.
Look, I'm looking forward
what
to
about
7, 8, and 9.
Terminator 2? Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 is good. I look forward to 7, 8, and 9, but it's never going to catch up to Empire Strikes Back. I'm sorry. I know Lawrence Kasdan is involved with them, but
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams is great, but he's not
But
going to
we'll
get
get to
Empire
that
Strikes
show
Back.
at another time.
Yeah, Terminator 2 is good. I also got Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan.
I have that as well.
That's a great movie.
I agree. I mean, only because this first Star Trek movie, I think to the non-Star Trek kind of commercial audience was confused.
yeah, it wasn't good.
V'ger,
It
all
wasn't
that.
bad. It just wasn't really good either.
But it wasn't commercially good. That's what
Yeah.
they needed. They
Right.
needed to be that kind of Star Wars.
They needed Khan.
They needed what
They needed
the
that.
show had.
Right.
And the first one was more like, this is an intricate, very detailed version of what Star Trek, blah, blah, blah. And I think there's some Trekkies that clearly jerked off on that. You know what I'm saying? But for the
Right.
most part, on a Star Wars / commercial level, they lost a little bit of their commercial audience.
And and because of that movie, I've been putting little worms in my ears like on a daily basis.
I did it
thinking-
before I come in here.
hoping that
Actually,
I'll
I
be-
stuck one in my butt.
Right. Hoping that one day I'll be in control of Khan, or Khan will be in control of me rather. So so I put those movies. Let me give you an obscure one.
Okay. I gave you an obscure on the last one.
So here's one that I like that. Okay, the first one is extremely popular, and it's very old.
Okay.
And a lot of people may not even realize it has a sequel.
Okay.
And a lot of times that's usually a formula for bad medicine, right?
Right.
But in my opinion, and probably not many other people's, this happened to be like a fucking great movie, and it wasn't really a theatrical success at all.
Okay.
But I thought it was great. Return to Oz.
I saw the one with James Franco.
You're like, what's-
I saw the one with James Franco, and I didn't care about that. With Mila Kunis, the Great and Powerful, I didn't care for that.
No, not that one. This is
Return
this
to Oz. Who's in
this
that?
came out in the 80s.
Was John Ritter in this?
I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways,
Was this about who wrote?
no, this is Dorothy. She goes back to Oz.
Oh.
But she goes back to Oz.
Who plays
Oz,
Dorothy?
It's actually a different. I don't remember. Okay, I don't know anybody that's in the
Is it
movie at
Liza
all.
Minnelli?
No, fuck you. It's actually, and the character is a little younger than the original. She's not. She's younger than what's her name? Who cares? And all these
You know how I know-
cinema snobs are just grinding their teeth. I'm like, how do you not?
I don't think
remember
cinema
her
snobs
name?
are listening to
No,
us.
you're
Judy
probably-
Garland.
Judy Garland, yes, thank
Yeah.
you. I wanted to say Julie Andrews, and I knew it wasn't right.
She was in SOB with Blake Edwards.
Anyways, she goes back to Oz, and it's like in turmoil. It's gone to shit. And there's like this queen that can.
Like Detroit.
It's very much like Detroit. And there's like this queen that like has like a collection of heads, and she puts on a different head whatever day, or whatever head she's feeling like for that day. And she's kind of destroyed Oz, and it's put in turmoil. And it was like, I don't know. I really don't really care for the original, to be honest. I don't really like The Wizard of Oz.
What about The Wiz?
doesn't do
with
it for
Michael
me.
Jackson and Diana Ross
Yeah, no,
and
no
Nipsey
thanks.
Russell? Yeah,
I get it, but you know, if you want the Black Wizard of Oz, I guess.
Well-
but I just thought the Return of Oz was a really cool movie, and it was like way darker, and I mean, and the effects were kind of pretty cool for the 80s, you know. So I don't know. It's on my list for good sequels.
Okay. I mean, I'm not holding anything against you. How about Godfather 2?
Of course, it's on my list. Of course.
course.
Godfather 2 is awesome.
Yeah,
and to me, that's not one that's necessarily better than the first one, but it's like right on par.
It's just like Empire Strikes Back. It's you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like Star Wars captivated you like The Godfather. 4 fucking hours. I love that.
Yeah, it's before Francis Ford Coppola was like, I need to put my daughter in my movie.
Well, I will say this about The Godfather. The Godfather is one of those movies you can watch. You'll be off on a Saturday.
Yeah,
and
I'll watch it anytime it comes on.
If it comes on in the morning, and you're just sitting around watching TV, you can watch the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah,
and then
wonder where your time went.
Absolutely, and it goes right back in. I mean that's one of those movies that's Star Wars worthy, man. It's just Wars worthy.
It's Godfather 2 is a sequel like The Empire Strikes Back.
Absolutely.
It only improves the original.
Now, what about
improves on it?
Road Warriors.
The Road Warrior, like the Mad Max sequel.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, on my list. Great movie.
Yep, great movie. And then the third one was shit.
Yeah, sure. The third one was
I just saw the "We Don't Need Another Hero" video today.
Yeah, I mean, once you start putting like music celebrities in your movie,
yeah, it's just you're jerking it off.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it's just not.
Here's another one I put. I love this movie. Jimmy Page did the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Death Wish 2. Death Wish.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah, dude. I want to see them remake that movie.
Yeah, that'd be good.
You know,
like with The Rock or somebody.
No. Schwarzenegger. I mean, no. I'm sorry. Stallone.
Okay.
He's older. His wife or his granddaughter or somebody gets raped, and he's got to go back and fucking administer justice. And I would believe that, because Bronson was chiseled.
And Stallone, Stallone is both actually Stallone and Schwarzenegger. They're all like trying to do as many movies as they can now.
Schwarzenegger, the problem with him is, it's just I just believe that if you had Stallone, he comes off as more that. Remember in Copland?
Yeah,
he was great.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think if you had somebody like him, and it's like Our Bruce Willis, chiseled, old. He's been around for a while, and it's like some tragedy has happened to him.
Right.
Now he's fucking exacting revenge. He's fucking kicking ass. And it's
Bruce,
not Die Hard. It's a new version.
Bruce Willis might be cool because he's really good in the Red movies, if you've seen those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is a DC thing.
That's true. Yeah. That's absolutely true.
But, I also have on my list The Color of Money. That's a good sequel.
I did see that. But I didn't really know. I kind of, was it a sequel to the Sting?
The Hustler?
The Hustler.
Yeah.
The Hustler. There was the Sting and the Sting 2. The Hustler.
Right. The Sting 2, I think, was terrible, right?
I don't know if I ever seen the original, or if I did, I was like, there needs to be a sequel to this.
I think I know, but I feel like there's a stigma behind the Sting 2. Like most people regard it as terrible. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
But anyways, The Color of Money is the sequel to The Hustler. Basically, Paul Newman's kind of he's aged and he's been around. He knows the tricks of the trade, and he employs young Tom Cruise, who is a beginner and who's got some. I guess he sees some promise in him. It's just like
Tom
really
Cruise.
good. I actually think that.
Do you like Tom Cruise as an actor?
I do. I mean,
I do. I like him a lot as an actor, but I just feel like as a person, he just weirds me out.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So I mean, I actually like The Color of Money better than The Hustler. I mean, The Hustler is a good movie, but I think I like where they went with The Color of Money. It's just.
What about Aliens?
I like the whole mentor thing, I guess, going on there. Aliens is on my list.
Yeah,
Aliens is great.
Yep, that's on my list.
I'm even one of the few that like the third one.
I agree. I agree. That like whole series was done very well.
Yeah.
It was done like. That I wish Silence of the Lambs would have went that way.
It's interesting about that series too, though, is because it had a different person helming the project. Like first you had Ridley Scott, then you had James Cameron, and
did you like Blade 2?
I didn't really get into the Blade movies.
See, I loved Blade because I thought it was very cool that Marvel, of all the characters that they could have done, they picked Blade first.
Yeah,
and they did very well on all 3 of them.
Right.
How you doing on your brewski, sir?
I've got enough. I'm good.
Okay. I'm not going to edit that out at all.
No, we drink beer on this show,
No, we
fellas.
drink a lot
We
of
consume
beer.
alcohol. We are alcoholics.
And I tell you another one that I love a lot. I just saw about a week or two ago. I love the original. This I can't even wait for the third one because it's going to fucking kick ass. Machete 2.
Oh,
Machete,
yeah. Hell yeah.
Machete Kills.
Dude, those movies, don't you think they're getting better? Like, I thought 2 was better than 1.
I can't wait for the third.
How
in
many
space.
How many people got their heads hacked off with helicopters in that movie?
And Charlie Sheen is President Rathcock.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's great.
That was awesome.
Isn't it funny, like, when you're watching the second one, there's a preview for, like,
Oh, yeah.
Machete in space?
Dude.
And you're like, are they really going to do that? And then you
They
don't
are.
realize by the way the second movie ends, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, by the way that Machete 2 ends,
It's happening.
they're in space. So you see that they're definitely making it.
I can't wait. Well, it was going to be called Machete,
Yeah.
Machete Kills, and Machete Kills Again.
Right.
But the third one, they just had to grindhouse it the fuck up and
Yeah.
go Machete in Space, man. And that's what I love about that because it's like, it's ridiculous, but it's just like, man, Danny
It's so ridiculous.
Trejo's.
That's great.
Danny Trejo does no wrong, you know.
No, definitely. How many times does he get shot in those movies?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's Danny Trejo.
Well, that's another great number 2. Is Kill Bill number 2.
Kill Bill 2. So okay. I liked Kill Bill 2.
I love both of those.
And I like
movies.
Kill Bill 1, but I don't feel like it's one movie really.
It is, but I mean, you know, it's a long story.
Yeah.
Now, I understand, and I don't know if this is true or not, but there is talk of a Kill Bill 3. But
Really?
it's
David Carradine's corpse stars in it.
Nope. The girl that gets killed. Remember her and Uma Thurman are killed, and the girl's coming home from the school bus.
Yeah.
She's gonna Vivica A. Fox's
Vivica A.
daughter.
Fox, yeah.
Is going to learn how to.
Okay.
She's coming back.
Like they're like fighting and like throwing knives at the cornflakes and shit.
Well, I'm just saying.
That was a great scene, man.
That whole movie was great. You know,
Yeah.
that was one of those movies that told me, which I knew Quentin Tarantino, you know, from Reservoir Dogs and True Romance and Natural Born Killers.
But that first one was different than all like Tarantino movies.
Well, I'm just saying, once he got to Pulp Fiction and showed his potential, I mean,
Right.
that's one thing I like about him a lot is he's not a Mr. Sequel guy. You
Right.
know, and there's some sequel.
Yeah, he's got original ideas. I mean, he's kind of on this like timepiece kick now.
I don't think he's done any sequel to any movie he's ever done.
Yeah, I guess not.
You know, Adam Sandler just did Grown Ups 2,
Yeah.
which was the first sequel he's ever done of any character of any movie that he's ever done.
Okay, yeah.
Which I have to give him total props for that because
it's funny because it almost feels like Happy Gilmore is a sequel to Billy Madison, but it's not.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. But at the same time, those characters have grown into different people. And
Yeah.
different, you know, so, I mean, all of these ones I haven't loved. Some of them I have. I liked Little Nicky. I didn't
Right.
like Zohan.
No, I didn't either.
You know, but I like the fact. Now, Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2.
I didn't really care for those.
I didn't either.
I didn't see 2, but I didn't like 1.
I just saw 2.
Or
but
Click with the.
I liked Click.
I hated it.
No, I liked it.
I took that movie and took a dump on it and then fed it to your dog. But
What about, let me ask you this. What about,
but I wanted to say one thing about Kill Bill still. Like
okay, Kill Bill still?
Kill Bill 2 felt like it was more like a Tarantino movie than 1 to me. I liked 1 because 1 was like all the action and 2 was like the Tarantino style dialogue. You know what I mean?
Well, let's put down your
When he's
top-
like, did you think, or what like right at the very end, he's like, did you think it would be that easy? And she's like, for a second there, I kind of did.
Well, let me ask you this.
That's very Tarantino.
Your top 5 favorite sequel, you know, movies. Your top 5. Your
Well,
all-time.
we've already mentioned them all.
No, well, we've mentioned a bunch, but your personal top 5.
My personal top 5. The Empire Strikes Back's right there at number 1, far above everything else.
Okay.
The Godfather 2 is up there.
Right on.
Superman 2,
Okay.
The Dark Knight,
Okay. Well, these are great.
and then I guess I can't use Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
What about Shrek 2?
Okay, sure. That's not on my list, but I mean, I don't think it was a bad movie. I probably enjoyed it. I can't really. I don't know. And you know, and one I really liked was X-Men 2.
I liked X-Men too. But see, that's one of those ones that I feel like the whole series is really, really good. You know,
I don't feel that way.
I don't really think that.
I think 3 was bad.
Well, I mean, I think there's room for error. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I just think
Well, you can't do the whole Phoenix story in one movie.
no.
And that was a mistake to even try to do that.
But at the same time, this is going back to the Blade thing. I give Marvel a lot of props
Yeah.
for putting people like Blade and the X-Men and push them out first.
Right.
Because they didn't have to do that. They could have went with the easy ones like Hulk, Fantastic Four, and
Definitely.
obviously Spider-Man,
Right.
which they chose to do, but not
Which
at
is funny
first.
because you say Hulk. Hulk is one of the ones that hasn't really done all that well.
No, but
Sadly.
I just don't understand why they have such an issue with that movie.
I don't
It's like, I
either.
don't understand why. What was his name from Fight Club?
Edward Norton.
I was hoping that he was going to be,
I like that one. That was a pretty decent movie.
or just get Mark Garofalo, or
Mark Ruffalo.
whatever. Just get him.
Yeah,
I don't
let
give a
him do
shit.
one.
Whatever.
I agree. I don't know why they don't have they're not making a Hulk movie with him. Maybe they will after
Well,
Avengers 2.
I don't know. I mean, I just think they feel so burnt. You know, they're
Right.
like, I don't know. You know what the fuck we're supposed to do with this? We've had
Right.
what is it? David Banya or in the first one, and then we had.
We have 15 minutes, sir. Yeah.
We have 15 minutes left.
Yeah. But and the thing about X-Men 2 is I think is one of the better of the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And mostly because they start going into the Wolverine story. And Wolverine is one of my favorite X-Men characters. I don't know why. Just the whole animal guy with claws and just the whole shtick about Wolverine. I always thought Hugh Jackman was a good cast for Wolverine. And somehow they keep making him not look older in all the movies, and that's pretty good. And even the newest one, the X-Men First Class, not First Class, that was the first one, the Days of Future Past, X-Men Days of Future Past, the newest one that came out, I thought was pretty good. And Hugh Jackman still looked like he did in 2000 when they made the first one. And it almost it's like they throw this spackle stuff on his muscles and make him glisten. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think they do that for the ladies and Rick.
But yeah, it was mostly for me. Well, the thing is, I just feel like when I was a kid, I seen so many terrible versions of television shows
Right.
of Captain America and Spider-Man, and even Wonder Woman was okay, but
That's another good sequel that I didn't even put on my list. Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier.
well, yeah,
That was really good.
But Thor 2, I thought was good.
Thor 2 was good,
Iron
too.
Man 2. All of
Yeah.
those movies, in my opinion. I haven't even seen Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Man.
It's
2.
pretty good.
I would imagine it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as what I've been looking for, and I mean, I loved the Raimi films,
Yeah.
but I was still like, it's not the same thing. It's
Right.
like I felt like the X-Men did a better job of trying to at least talk about the recruits, in Xavier's place over. I don't know. I still feel like at the end of the day, no matter what Marvel does, and I know this is not a Marvel / DC show.
You mean Disney.
But, well, hey, whoever's got to do it right, whatever. But I'm just saying, I just feel like DC still doesn't get, they've got to step it up with this Batman versus Superman movie in order to get.
Yeah. I've got my doubts about that movie.
I'm just going to wait and see. I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to fit too much in a movie. Because, they've got Wonder Woman supposed to be in it.
And Flash.
And the Flash is supposed to be in it.
But I think they're just going to be
Why don't they just call it the Justice League?
They're building up to that. That's
But
what they're trying to do.
I hear you, but you can't build up to it and throw them all in the same movie.
Well, I think that's where they're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What
That's
about...
why I'm not thinking it's going to be
Now,
good.
here's two movies, like I say, Toy Story 2, Poltergeist 2. These are two movies here I had on both lists.
I didn't like the Poltergeist 2, really.
I just felt like Poltergeist 2 was yet again one of those flip kind of stories where it's like, we'll just stretch this kind of situation out. We'll bring in the old woman again. We'll bring in an Indian. We'll bring in this.
Yep.
But you got to admit, the old man, you're all going to die. He was freaky. I don't care. I mean, that right there was what made Poltergeist 2.
Right.
But if anything, it should have ended. at that one. And
Well, wasn't the whole idea that like the house was built on an Indian mound or something, or Indian burial
yeah,
ground?
but by part 2, see, it
So
had
why
already,
did it? I don't remember why it followed them.
It followed Carol Ann.
Yeah,
You know, that was the whole, and then she died, and then that
he died,
there was a lot of people,
and
in that
yet they
movie
still
died.
made a third one.
Yeah, and that was terrible. And Toy Story 2, same thing. It's just a flip.
What about Toy Story 3? Did you see that?
I just felt like it was unnecessary.
It was dark, man.
It was a little dark, but I just felt like it was one of these unnecessary movies where I had a friend of mine actually tell me near the end of it.
So-
spoiler alert: when you think they're going to all be turned into, some recyclable, he was actually crying. And this guy is like, I don't know, maybe 20 when this come out. He was probably the same age as Andy in the fucking movie, but he was all upset, and I'm like, do you think Disney's going to end it off where they? And I said, this is
Yeah,
what
I
they
know.
should have done with them. They should have made them all go into this like heated thing and melt them all down and turn them into like a Rubbermaid recyclable bin,
Yeah.
and then said, see, kids, the story, the moral of this story is,
Don't be a fucking toy
and recycle,
and recycle.
go green. Your toys really are just plastic toys.
That sounds depressing.
yeah.
But the guy that made the guy that wrote the script for Toy Story 3 is actually doing Star Wars Episode 7.
J.J. Abrams or
J.J. Abrams is directing. He's not writing the script.
okay.
This
Well-
guy's writing the script, but he's supposedly like Lawrence Kasdan is like a consultant. He wrote the script for.
I am very pleased that
Empire and
that
Jedi.
the Star Wars thing is going Disney. I think that's the
Go Disney.
look, man.
Go Disney or burn out.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think
No,
it'll
I
be-
think- I'm looking forward
they've
to
done
it.
They've done a good job with some of the Marvel stuff.
They
and,
can't do any worse than Lucas himself.
Well, I'm glad that Lucas just kind of just gave it over to Disney and
Because
said.
he must have realized that he's just screwing it up worse and worse.
But I also feel like he's at a point in his life where he just feels like, look, I don't want to, put this much energy into something that I don't mind, having some creative control, and this is a thing that's been going on for the last 40, 50 years or whatever. Let's, and look, he did such a great job with Star Trek.
He should have pulled a Gene Roddenberry and died.
Come on, man.
I know. I'm giving so much hate on George Lucas.
Are you getting text over there?
No, I'm just I was getting texts earlier.
Okay, I was like, man.
The staff will text me sometimes when we're getting low on time.
Okay, how are we doing on time?
I don't know. They haven't texted me. How long ago was that?
I-
When it said 15 minutes.
I have a message. Let's see.
Oh, you've got a message.
What if it's the staff?
It's from my mom. What?
Oh, it's her titties.
Oh, all right. Well, just don't show that to me. I don't want to barf a second time
I'm
today.
downloading this picture. I don't know what it is, but
It's probably gonna. I don't think that phone can actually show pictures.
shut your mouth.
Rick's got a flip phone. Remember those, audience?
Hey,
Remember when you had to flip your phones out?
that's
to
right.
Look at 'em?
I like to pretend like I'm on Star Trek.
9 minutes, sir.
Yes, I got
That's not a phaser. It's a flip phone.
my.
I'm
God,
surprised. I'm
Justin.
surprised you don't have like one of the phones from the Matrix where it jets out from the bottom.
Dude,
those Nokia phones.
I am all about saving money, and I know you say you're the resident Jew, and I'm the contingent redneck.
All right.
But I'm all about saving.
So you should
some
really
money.
be spending all your money, and I should be saving my money.
I don't. We had that show where I still to this day not on Facebook. I haven't gone back.
Once you go to Facebook, you don't go back. I
don't know.
I ruined
I
that.
just don't bother. It doesn't bother me anymore. And then the cell phone. Yes, I do have a flip phone. I'm on the Straight Talk.
Boost network.
No, Straight Talk.
Straight Talk.
Yeah.
The Walmart thing.
$40
$40 a year.
a month.
It makes calls, and that's about it.
That's all I needed to do. I'm not like Justin. I'm not the young urban professional running around the city. I'm out here in the country. Just,
I'm running around the city. I'm a city rat.
Yeah, I'm a country rat.
Okay, I think I don't really have any more sequels. Well, you said you slammed this movie last one, and I put it on mine, which was Airplane 2.
Well, I don't know if it was a good sequel. I just think they were kind of milking out the franchise of Airplane.
I know, but I still laughed my ass off.
What
The
about
thing
Naked
is, like,
Gun 2.5.
yeah, I like that one too.
I love all those movies.
The thing about those movies, though, is it doesn't matter what the story or the plot is, as long as they keep having the same stupid jokes.
I just I just got something handed to me.
Ooh.
And
Was it a notice of
well, no,
termination?
no, it's not a notice of termination. It was a correction,
Ah.
and it says right here that on one of the previous shows, I don't know why this even means anything to anybody, but
We've had previous shows.
on one of the previous
I like
shows,
to think that every show we do is the first
we talked about Ethan Hawke
one. Oh.
being a blue cigarette smoker. It was Steven Dorff. Somebody sent us.
He was a blue cigarette smoker.
He is the
Or a blues.
but it wasn't. We just kind of said what the fuck was Steven Dorff doing, and we talked about the Explorers movie.
Yeah.
And
but that was Ethan Hawke, right?
it was Ethan Hawke, but Steven Dorff is the blue guy, and Ethan Hawke is I don't know what he's
Who's
doing.
the blue guy?
Steven Dorff.
But what blue guy and what?
We said that the smoking guy, the e-cigarette guy, was on a past show. We said it was Ethan Hawke. It wasn't. It was
Okay.
Steven Dorff.
All right.
So, all right, look, we got to get out of here. Making our apologies to the correct celebrities.
Sorry, Ethan and Steven.
Hey, always check us out on podvomit.com. And don't forget to put your yak in our sack. Make sure to email us in our barf bag at podvomit@gmail.com. You can find us all over the place. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. Also follow us on Podomatic.com. Check us out on Mixcloud. We are also on the ever-popular Radio Fubar. And make sure to gawk at us on Instagram. We want to make a huge thanks and big love to Fenario Studios, who welcome us into their loving arms and make sure that we don't harass their cleaning staff.
Kiss us on the cheeks and tucks us in.
Yep, they're our sweethearts.
And reads us a story.
And we do all kind of defiling in their studios. Hey, I didn't say that. All right. We appreciate you listening to me and Justin on our number two show.
We're always hoping we'll be number 2 with you.
That's right. We want to be your number 2 on your pillowcase.
We don't want to be your number 1, just your number 2.
That's right. So I am your lovely number 2 host, Nickelbag Rick. And with me as always is...
Also a number 2 host?
Justin. Wait, say it again.
Justin.
Justin. There.
I forget my name sometimes.
And we are your...
Where am I?
You're at Fenario Studios in the corner, rocking in your chair.
That's me in the corner.
Oh my God. I'm going to throw up. Hey, this is Pod Vomit. We'll see you next time. Justin's in the corner. I'm out the door. Podvomit.com. Bye, bitches.